Hey everybody, Carl here. Welcome back to Trails in the Sky. In the last episode, we made our way here to Rolent with Estelle and Joshua Brat, ready to become bracers. We've checked out the town, the people, what it has to offer for now, and we are going to the Bracer Guild. It's time to learn about the world, about the magic, and get into some combat. Let's go. The Bracer Guild. There you two are. Good morning, Estelle. Good morning, Joshua. Morning, Aina. Good morning. Is Shara here already? Yes, she's waiting for you upstairs. Once you finish today's training, you'll finally be recognized as members of the Bracer Guild. Good luck to the both of you. Thanks. We'll do our best. I know we will, Joshua, because we rule. Once you finish today's training, all right, let's go get it. The star and the hanged man, the hermit and the magician, and last of all, inversion through the wheel of fortune. This is a difficult combination. How should I interpret this? Good morning, Shara. Well, if it isn't Estelle and Joshua, this is a rare occasion for the both of you to show up so early. Since it's my last day of training, I figured, why not? I'm ready to get this show on the road and become a bracer myself. I'll give you credit for your enthusiasm, but I'm gonna work you hard today in every way I can think of to make sure that high-spirited attitude of yours holds up. I hope you're ready. I can feel that enthusiasm dropping already. Oh, quiet you. Every time I teach you something, you somehow manage to forget it. This training is my way of trying to keep some of that information in your head instead of letting it dribble out your ears like it usually does. Joshua, Shara's picking on me. Don't worry, Shara. While Estelle may hate studying and rarely ever does her homework, acts rashly, is overly naive, and has a tendency to stick her nose into everything, her instincts are sharp, so I'm sure she'll pick up on how to use an Orbment with some practice. Eventually. Probably. The fact that Joshua just says that with a straight face. Mwah. I guess there's not much I can do now except hope for the best. Hold on a sec, Joshua. Somehow I get the feeling that you weren't standing up for me. Well, that's odd. I'm positive I described all your best traits accurately. Whatever. By the way, Shara, what were you trying to predict with your tarot cards? Your face was really intent. Oh, this? I was just trying to get a vague reading about what might happen in the near future. Unfortunately, I don't seem to have been in the right mindset to interpret the cards correctly. You couldn't read the cards? Now that's surprising to hear. Actually, the more profound the meaning of the cards, the more difficult they become to interpret. But that's not important now. I think it's time we start your final training. Bring it on. I'll give you a brief rundown of all the information we've covered in your previous training. This is the minimal level of knowledge that bracers should have in order to function effectively. And Estelle, make sure you pay especially close attention to what I'm going to say. Yeah. Okay, so we're essentially starting on the last day of training so that we have a good excuse to just get everything summarized for us. What would you like to know about? Well, let's learn about orbments. Orbments are mechanical devices which operate by using what is known as orbal energy. A variety of effects can be produced depending on their structure and the type of quartz, or process septium, installed. Although it's only been about 50 years since their invention, these devices play an integral role in all facets of life, from lights, heaters, and other everyday products, to weapons, magic, and even airships. I feel like that sentence just holds so much weight. Like, oh, here's this new technology. Yeah, let's just do magic. Airships. It's freaking cool. In connection, this technological reform is commonly known as the Orbital Revolution. Alright, tell me about bracers. Bracers are investigative and combat specialists who work to protect civilians and maintain the stability of their respective regions. They aid the community in various ways, such as exterminating monsters, preventing crime, finding lost items, and escorting people and goods. The Bracer Guild, which has established branches across the continent, manages the affairs of the bracers in each region. Alright, we're like superheroes. Saving the day. About the Liberl Kingdom. The Kingdom of Liberl, in which we live, sits on the western half of the Semurian continent and abounds with nature and deep-rooted traditions. Liberl is proud to be one of the leading producers of septium on the continent and is known for its high level of technology used to develop orbments. Orbment technology has also been a key pillar of support for Liberl in protecting its independence as it has contended with neighboring nations. 10 years ago, when Liberl was invaded by the Erebonian Empire, it was the use of orbital-powered airships that saved the kingdom from defeat. Consequently, even now, our relationship with the Empire is somewhat sensitive. But thanks to the Queen's political finesse, Liberl enjoys peace. Nice, I'm sure the Erebonian Empire won't bother us ever again. That's all. Let's see, since we've got a mountain of stuff to do today, I'll let you off the hook this time with a condensed review. I'm gonna speed things up now and move on to the practical portion of your training. Shara? How is today's practical training any different from the training we've done before? Since it's practical, that means you'll be experiencing things firsthand. Therefore, I'm going to have the both of you run through everything as if this were a real bracer job. So what you're saying is, there won't be any studying at a desk involved? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. This time you'll have to go out and make a physical effort to accomplish your task. I'll make sure to have you work up a sweat, so I hope you're ready. Yes! Oh, that's seriously just what the doctor ordered. I didn't know what I was gonna do if I had to sit another day with my tush parked at a desk. I guess I got all worried for nothing. Well, suddenly you're all bright and cheerful, Estelle. Let's just hope that smile on your face lasts until the end of today's training. Okay, let's get cracking on your first objective, shall we? Let's have at it! Your first objective will be to confirm the details of the job you will be performing. But before that, there is something that we need to give the both of you. Aina, are they ready? Yes, here they are. Alright, you two, go get one for each of yourselves. What is it? These are very important, so make sure not to lose them. Bracer Notebook. Bracer notebooks serve as the official way to record the status of your current jobs. Also, anything you may hear or anything that you may find and where. These kinds of trivial things can often become clues. No matter how insignificant something may seem, always write it down. Understood. Oh crap, this sounds like it's going to be a pain. Oh? Please tell me it was my ears playing tricks on me, because I swear I only got one response. I'm sure there were two. Keeping an accurate account of events is an important duty for all bracers. So get with the program and stop trying to make this out to be more than it really is, Estelle. Okay, I got it. Make sure you do. Alright then, let's begin. Look over by the door. You can see that there's a bulletin board standing there. Yeah? First, I want you to go and check the job description posted there. When the bulletin board is approached, a exclamation mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display the job lists. By selecting the job names on the list, you can view their details. Nice. All right. I'm going to have a sip of water as we make our way there. All right. Training. Retrieval. New. So the client here is Scherazard. The pay is 500 mira. Nice. And it says, this training will involve searching the sewers beneath Rolent and bringing back the contents of a chest. See Scherazard for details. Now we can also see on the side that it says term long, which means how long it is before this quest expires. That's going to be one of the things we really need to keep in mind as we're out doing quests for clients. Some quests have a timer, and it's not like a physical, in-world timer in minutes. It's more if you progress past a certain point in the main story, quests become essentially failed, and that won't let us get the max bracer rank, which is what we want to do. Details of the job confirmed on a bulletin board, and other important events will be automatically recorded in the bracer notebook. The bracer notebook can be easily found by clicking on the Books tab of the Items menu. It can also be accessed by configuring a bracer book shortcut button on the configuration menu. Nice. Very good. It looks like you were able to see what was posted without any trouble. Checking the bulletin board is one of the most basic functions a bracer performs on their job. Checking regularly to see whether or not there are any urgent tasks which need immediate attention is also an important duty for bracers. Man, all this talk about duty is starting to cramp my style. Sure, there are a lot of rules to follow, but there's an equal level of responsibility in the jobs themselves. I think being a bracer calls for much more than just someone with a half-hearted attitude. I guess you're right. I'll just have to be more motivated. That was easy. Is that so? Had to change a heart, have you? You betcha! Well, before all that motivation sneaks off somewhere, let's get to work on your next task. What will we be doing this time? We'll be heading across the street to Mr. Melder's Orbal factory and learning about how to use its services. He has graciously taken time out of his work schedule to explain things, so make sure to be on your best behavior. Okay. Oh man, old man Melders again? Here is where you will learn how to use an Orbal factory's services. At an Orbal factory, you can modify your orbments and synthesize support quartz in order to use Orbal arts. Arts have a wide range of effects and, if mastered, can be extremely helpful. The bracer business is a pretty risky occupation, so the guild has had a long-standing relationship with these Orbal factories. Anyway, this is about as much as I can explain. I'll leave the technical details to the experts. So, Mr. Melders, if you wouldn't mind taking over from here. No problem. What was Melders like? He was like, back in my day. No problem. Leave everything to me. So, what is it that you would like to know about? Tell me about Orbment, sir. Orbments are mechanical devices which exhibit an array of effects through the installation of various types of quartz. By definition, that means that lights, airship engines, and so on are also types of orbments. However, the ones we will be discussing today are battle orbments, which enhance the user's physical abilities and make it possible to use magic. Again, such a wild phrase if someone in real life ever said this. Since each orbment is adjusted to match the owner's personal aptitude, the structures for these devices also differ for each owner. Simply put, the shape of the fixed elemental slots and lines which connect them vary. At any rate, that's the layman's explanation. In order to install quartz, you must first have an open slot. By default, the central slot is open, but the other slots must be opened at an Orbal factory like this. It'll take a fair amount of sepith too. EP, which is needed for magic, will also see a max increase according to the number of open slots. I recommend opening them all as soon as possible. I have a soft spot for just talking about variables and stats in just plain English. It's great. Tell me about the Orbal arts, sir. Simply put, Orbal arts are magic which can be discharged exclusively through the use of battle orbments. In other words, a number of peculiar effects can be produced by using the orbal energy stored within these mechanical devices. Since orbal arts can be a mouthful, they are almost universally referred to as arts. Probably ought to be called that from the get-go. There are several types of arts, but in order to be able to use them, their corresponding quartz must first be synthesized at an orbal factory. Orbments are also set up so that once a particular quartz is installed into a slot, the owner will be able to use those arts. The type of arts one can use also changes depending on the elemental value and the combination of installed quartz. Basically, if you want to use water arts, all you have to do is install quartz with a water elemental value. In reality, orbments are much more complex than what I have described, but I think this information should suffice for now. It's a good primer, Mr. Melders. Now, I understand that we use orbments to cast orbal arts by installing quartz, but what are quartz? Quartz are circuits made from sepith. Quartz have a vast number of effects and raise the owner's abilities while simultaneously making it possible for them to use arts. However, you will not be able to harness any of these effects until quartz has been installed into a slot. However, there are also fixed slots in which only a certain type of elemental quartz can be installed. This being the case, when you synthesize a new quartz, be sure to check your orbment and decide where you will be installing it ahead of time. Very good to know. And so I know the quartz go in orbments to cast arts, but quartz, they're made from sepith, aren't they? Sepith are fragments of septium, which are dropped by monsters. They are divided into 7 types: earth, brown, water, blue, fire, red, wind, green, time, black, space, gold, and mirage, silver. Sepith can be exchanged for mirror almost anywhere, but at the orbal factory it can be used to synthesize quartz and to open orbment slots in which to install the synthesized quartz. So, what did you like to know about? So generally it's a good idea to use sepith for your orbments and your quartz, unless you have gotten like all the achievements and unlocked everything and you just need a bit of extra cash, and you can also just sell them for that sweet mirror. It looks like Mr. Melders has answered all your questions. If there's nothing else, then let's have you both try and use the services here. For that, you're gonna need some sepith. Ah yeah, guilds paying. Received several of each type of elemental sepith. With that amount, you two should be able to synthesize a few quartz. Now I want you to begin by first making an elemental quartz that will work with each of your particular orbments. In your case, Estelle, any elemental quartz is okay, but for you, Joshua, it has to be a time elemental quartz. Normally at a shop, you would be able to exchange sepith for mira, but for this training you will not be able to use this service. Upon approaching the counter, a talk mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display a list of options. Select Modify or Trade to use the Orbal Factory services. You got it! Let's talk to Old Man Melders again first. Oh, good work so far! If you need to use the Orbal Factory, give Freddy a holler over there. Alright, we will. Hey, Freddy. Hi there. Looks like you two are doing well in your training. If you'd like to modify your orbments, please select the Modified Trade service. Alright, Freddy. So, first and foremost, let us synthesize some quartz. So, there are a couple for sale here. We have defense, which is of the earth element. Earth elements are generally, as you can see here, defensive in nature. They are all about protecting and guarding, but also dealing earth elemental damage. Blue quartz, water quartz are all about healing and increasing max HP. Red quartz or fire quartz are all about increasing our strength at the cost of our defense and doing fire-based attacks. The green wind quartz, they will increase our agility, making it easier for us to evade enemy attacks and casting wind spells. And time quartz, they will speed up time, which is essentially a stat which lets you act more frequently in combat, given that it is turn-based, and the positioning of you in like the battle queue is very important. So, we're gonna get one of each actually. Defense 1, HP 1. Now the 1 next to the name denotes its strength, so to say, its quality. So you have 1, 2, and 3, where higher numbers are straight up better. We can also see that it has, for instance here, water elemental value and then 1 blue Sepith. And we'll get back to what that's all about later. Let's buy evades and let's buy action. Nice. Alright, we bought them. We're gonna install them too. We might do that. So, press and triangle here, I can open up the Bracer notebook. And here, for instance, we can see our achievements, which is like the jobs we completed, the BP we have so far, our battles, and our rank within the guild. So it is our goal to get the max rank. We also have plenty of other pages here, and these are really useful. Let's say we want to cast a certain spell. Like, let's say I'm bored of casting Firebolt and I want to cast Volcanic Rave. I can see how many elements I require in order to cast it. So I have to equip different quartz in order to reach these elemental values to cast a spell. So any character can cast any spell if you just equip them right, which is what's really cool and flexible. So again, earth, protection, blue is generally attacking with water or healing, fire, red is fire, just increasing your strength, and so on and so forth. Some of these are crazy, like on the time tree you have like White Gehenna and Hellgate, which has like 20% chance to like faint. We can see over here on the right hand side, so it's worth going over the different magical powers that we can get here to see if there's something that really speaks to you. We also have the quartz, of course, which, as we can see, are generally HP, EP, attack, defense, mind, which increases our ATS, which is the arts strength. So how powerful our arts are. Then we have ADF, which is like arts defense. So that will shield us from arts. We have hits, which is increasing dex, which makes us more likely to hit the enemy, evade the enemy. Move is essentially giving us extra movement on the field of battle, which can be very useful. Action lets us act more often in the battle. Cast will cut the time it takes to cast arts, which is good for those who are casters. We also have some quartz here, which are really cool because they do status effects. Like we have 10% chance to like poison, freeze, petrify, make them sleep, mute, blind, seal them so they can't use crafts, confuse them, critically strike, or just straight up kill. Even have Death Blow 2, which has a 100% chance to kill, but it breaks afterwards. So some of these go hard. We also have EP Cut 1, 2, 3, which is going to make it cheaper to cast arts. Finally, Impede gives us a chance to block arts that the enemy is casting. Information lets us perceive their status so that they will show up in the monster book, which is very handy. And the last ones here are super cool because they essentially have effects as we are moving around in the world. Like Scent will pull enemies towards us, Eagle Eye lets us spot them at a distance, Haze makes them ignore us, Cloak, I believe, makes it so that we can just run through them without having to worry, and Heal, recover HP by walking. Pretty cool. And again, we have learned about orbments, and we will begin installing them into us here. This is also a very nice little overview of what the different elements do. So, magic setup. Essentially, we are going to be installing different quartz along these lines. And as we install different quartz, we will be accruing different types of elements, like elemental values. And they can then be used to cast spells based on the magic table above. So it's pretty cool. We also have skills, which are our own types of skills called crafts, which we'll be getting back to. The battle order, important, we'll be getting back to that. Plenty of different status effects that can make or break a battle. Either sometimes we need to guard for these, sometimes we need to inflict these as soon as possible. We also have different elemental effectivenesses. It's the classic, some creatures are resistant to something or weak to something. Cooking, very important. We can either make sit-down meals, which is essentially gives an effect to the entire party, and we have like a to-go meal, which is a item that you use in your inventory, like French fries from the Abend bar. BP Bracer points, here we have an overview of the different goods that we're gonna get as we rise in the ranks as we get towards level 1. Different parameters, HP, EP, and CP. where CP stands for craft points, EP stands for energy points, and we have the different stats. Strength, more physical damage, def, less physical damage taken, ATS, arts damage dealt, ADF, more arts defense, speed, less time between turns, dex, easier to land hits, agility, easier to avoid attacks, move, increases range of movement, and RNG, which is not random number generator, it is the attack range. So if you have a high range, you can attack something from far away. And here are some of the different icons that we're going to be seeing around towns. Nice! Further on here, we have the Rolent section of the journal, where we have started this quest, and we can make notes along the way whenever we encounter something of significance. Now, that's enough babbling from me. Let's install some Quartz, shall we? And babble some more. So, we can see that Estelle's different slots here, only one of them is open, the center slot. So, we can place basically any stone that we want here. So we need to consider what it is that we want to give her. Before we do that, we should take a look at Joshua, because Joshua's is special. He can only have a time quartz in the center. So I'm going to give the action stone to him. It's going to increase his speed and give him access to 2 new arts. So if I now go down, I can see what they do. Clock Up is going to speed up the flow of time for him so he can act more frequently in combat. And Soul Blur is just an awesome attack that has a chance to feint the enemy. Now Estelle, I could either make her more defensive, more HP and healing, more offensive, or more evasive. I'm going to go with the HP one so that she can be more of a support character as well and heal us up if things get bad, which they might, 'cause some battles in this game can be quite tough. Is that good, Shera? Did I do good? Oh, so you finished installing your quartz, have you? Since you have both recovery and attack arts set up, it appears that you don't need any more instruction from me about how to do this task. If you balance your arts out between each other like you've done here, it should make dealing with monsters much easier. Additionally, your bracer notebooks contain information about which quartz allow you to use which arts. If you'd like to use more powerful arts, check out the arts and quartz charts in your bracer notebooks and find something that works for you. Alright, our training here is almost finished. Last of all, I'm going to have one of you open a new slot in your orbments. The more slots you have available to you, the broader range of choices you'll have. Since EP, which is consumed by using arts, can have its max value increased by opening up slots, it would be a good idea to open them all early on. And this is then also especially important for casters. Now I want you to use this Sepith and open a slot on each of your orbments. Go ahead and decide which slots you're going to open. Alright, guild's paying. I'm back. Let us go to slots, Estelle, and then we gotta choose which slot to open. So we can either start on this path here, or we can start on this other path. Now, the point of going down different paths is that the amount of Sepith, or the elemental values that we put in along one path, is what determines whether or not we can cast a spell. So I'm just going to open up Estelle's line right here. Nice. Which is also going to then increase her max EP. So now I can assign a quartz in this very slot. So if I go to Estelle, I can do that right here. So defense, attack, or evades. I think I want evasion, because just being able to not get hit by the enemy, I value that over a little boost of my attack to the detriment of my defense. So that's what we're going to go with for now. Sadly, it's not enough to unlock anything for our dear pal Joshua here. As you can see, they require the regular elemental Sepith in order to unlock, and we don't have enough. But I'm ready. I'm raring to do something. Come on, let's do some fighting, Shera. I see you managed to open up one of your Orbment slots, Estelle. Since your central slot is not limited to a particular elemental, you are free to install any type of quartz you like. This concludes your training here at the Orbital Factory. Now it's time to move on to what you've both been waiting for, the Qualification Test. Pardon? Did you just say test? You can't honestly tell me that you forgot about the test again, can you? Didn't I remind you just this morning? Now that you mention it, I vaguely remember some sort of talk along those lines at the breakfast table. Sometimes I fear for the future of the Bracer Guild and humanity. Oh well, no sense in worrying about that now. Let's head over to the testing area. You mean like now? I don't know if I'm ready for... How about a little less yapping and a little more walking? Estelle's mortified. Joshua, help me! Mr. Melders, Freddy, thank you for all your help. Oh, don't mention it. And good luck with that test of yours. We'll be rooting for you. I'm gonna remember that you left me high and dry like this, Joshua. All your training has finally come down to this. Your qualification test will begin here. I expect to see you both use what you've learned up to this point. Understood. What's wrong, Estelle? Shara? What now? I was kind of wondering, but is there not going to be a paper test or something? Did Cassius drop you on her head as a child or something? You just read what it said on the bulletin board not that long ago, right? Yeah, and? And I even made you jot down what you read in your Bracer notebooks, unless you forgot that too. I'm pretty sure the job listing mentions searching for and retrieving an item from the sewers. Ringing any bells yet? Oh, what a relief. Oh, divine Adios, I give thanks to thee for thy infinite grace in bestowing upon us such wonderful gifts as sewers. So what you're really saying is that you thought it was a paper test? No wonder you were acting all crazy back at the Orbital Factory. I could already feel the nostalgia. All those horrible days stuck in a classroom are starting to feel like grand memories indeed. I'm really starting to wonder if we'll even be able to graduate at all. What's wrong with you? Why do you have to go ahead and say something like that when I'm trying to reminisce about positive things? Alright, that's enough yabbering, you two. This is supposed to be a test, so how about the both of you try to at least look a little anxious? Just so you know though, if you do happen to flunk the test, you don't even want to imagine the kind of homework I have in store for the both of you. We'll be fine. Just tell us what you want us to do and let us loose. Well, if you're so confident, then how about proving that you're not just blowing hot air with the results of your tests? Anyway, as you both saw on the bulletin board, this test will be a search conducted in Rolent's sewers. Your objective is to retrieve the contents of a chest which has been placed somewhere within that area. The layout of the sewers is extremely simple, so you don't need to worry about getting lost either. However, there are real, living, breathing monsters down there, so if you get careless and let down your guard, you will be sorry. Also, let me give you this before I forget. Tear Bomb ×3, healing item. Monster Guide. What's this book for? It's called a monster guide, and it's used to record information about monsters and other opponents you meet. Whenever you figure out an enemy's attributes, you should make an immediate note of it in here. Sounds pretty straightforward to me. He who controls the flow of information controls the tide of battle, right? That's exactly what I'm saying. You've really got a good head on your shoulders, Joshua. That's some pretty useful advice. Thanks for the tip, Shara. We'll put it to good use. Alrighty then, let's get pumped and knock out this test. Let's. Don't forget though, this is an exam. We should make sure we treat it as such. Indeed. Welcome! Gameplay mode. Wow, it's been half an hour since last we were in control. That's not true. We can move around the store. So, we're down here in our first dungeon, the Rolent sewers. And there appears to be a recovery point set up over there. Let's use it if our HP and EP become low before engaging in any further battles. Nice. Orbment charging stations are recovery points set up in dangerous areas. As the recovery point is approached, an exclamation mark will appear and 2 choices will be displayed by pressing the OK button. By selecting the rest option, all HP and EP will be restored. Sounds like a plan to me, said the wall. Ah, just kidding, it's me, Estelle. I was here all along. Alright, monster time. Monsters at 12 o'clock. Be careful not to let them take advantage of your blind side. Got it. Monsters cannot be seen from far away. They will become visible as you approach them. The conditions at the start of a battle will change depending on how a monster is engaged. Engaging an enemy from behind is advantageous, while being attacked by an enemy from behind is disadvantageous. Which is fun, because it means that how we position ourselves and act on the overworld map affects the actual tactical battle. Let's go. Da ba 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 oh. Ba 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 da do. Ba da 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 da. So, the battle order bar, let's start. Indicates who attacks first. It starts from the top and moves down. So this is going to be super tutorial heavy. I can't do all my things yet. I just gotta go with the flow. Attack. Attack an enemy. You may also use it to move if you are using a mouse and click an empty location. The highlighted area indicates the distance a character can move. By selecting a target in this area, it will move the character to attack. When an enemy is out of range, an icon will appear on your cursor. Selecting an out of range target will move the character as close to it as possible, but no attack will be performed. So as you can see, I could attack this dirty rat over here, or I could try to attack this one, which would instead point me to this particular spot on the map. Now it is worth pointing out that I'm using a controller to do things. Let's go! Ha-bow! Smack them rats. Alright, Joshua's turn. We're also just gonna go ahead and do a straight attack, finish this dirty rat off. Ah, yeah. I love how Joshua, the good guy, just carries 2 wicked knives. Alright, we'll start moving up there. It's gonna take our turn. Since this is a tutorial, they're not going to act, but we'll get some more acting enemies in a little bit. Let's go. Good job. Alright, can Estelle get to him? Nope. I guess it's up to Joshua to finish this. Finish him. Alright, we're good to go. Alright, we're good to go. Oh, dude, that Joshua sounds so much cooler than my Joshua. Alright. I imagine Joshua's voice is gonna, like, evolve. I'm still, like, trying to place it and find what it's supposed to be. Like, a little, like, upbeat, young protagonist, naive kind of thing, but he'll definitely need it to evolve as we go along. And we got some Sepith from that, and some experience. And we got a juicy bone! That's a monster part. Used for certain ingredients. Alright, let's keep going. Oh! Here comes some more. Depending on the enemy, some physical attacks may be ineffective. Let's use arts, not physical attacks. Okay! Arts are effective on enemies that are good at avoiding physical attacks. Arts also make long-range attacks possible, but they require time to be cast. EP is consumed when arts are used. EP can be recovered by resting at inns, hotels, or by using charge stations and other items, like an EP charge. Alright, let's do some magic. Let's just send the kids down the sewer to do magic. Ah, they're 16. They're old. They're old enough. Arts. Arts are effective against foes which are difficult to hit with a weapon, or those on which physical attacks have little effect. It takes time before arts can be cast. Also, EP is consumed when arts are cast. All arts have an element. Determine the element most effective against your foe and use it. Alright. So, we know that Estelle, she's the healer, so we have Tear, which as we can see is a single target recovery spell. So I could cast it on myself or on Joshua. In this case, I'm gonna go for either Aqua Bleed or Air Strike, both of them single attack spells. So we can see that the Moth Cluster over here does not have any elemental weakness to speak of, it's just kind of neutral. So we're just gonna go right ahead and charge it up. Now, looking at the battle order bar on the left-hand side, we're charging up, and when it comes back around to Estelle's turn, that's when she's gonna toss out her spell. I'm gonna use Soul Blur on this one, because we're cool and dark like that. And they're gonna pass. As we can see, Joshua went first, because he has higher speeds, even though Estelle started casting first. There we go, Aqua Bleed. Excellent. Alright.
We're good to go.
Ah yeah, we're good to go. More XP, more Sepith. Nice. Also, we gotta keep... Ooh, monster from the rare. Let's go. Estelle, let's try using crafts this time around. Since crafts have other effects besides just dealing out damage, they're worth a shot. Roger that! Crafts have range limits, but can be utilized instantly. CP is gained by dealing out or receiving damage during battle. Crafts really help flesh out the combats. Crafts are character-specific skills which not only deal out damage, but also have a broad range of effects. Using crafts consumes CP. CP is gradually gained by dealing out or receiving damage in battle. So, essentially we can make any character use basically any arts, right? But crafts are, again, character-specific. They really fit the theme of the character, and they can be wildly powerful. And the more CP we have, the more powerful stuff we can do. But of course, using them means we get less CP, but then we can get hit to get more CP. It's just overall pretty cool. So we can see that Estelle's main craft, or first one, is morale, where we can encourage our allies. So in a medium area, we're going to increase the strength. Why not?
Come on.
Ah yes, I feel inspired by a real come on. Now Joshua, he has dual strike, which unleashes a double slash with dual blades, which should be pretty powerful now that he's also juiced up on that confidence boost. Bam! Bam! Ooh, one hit, one kill. But still, we did two, just for good measure. Nice! And that creature dropped the treasure chest, which means we get an item this time around. So let's turn around. We don't have enough CP to do a special attack, so just finish him off like that.
That's that then. Let's move out.
This is pretty good, because now Estelle can be a little bit of a supportive character with heals and strength boosts, and Joshua can do the damage by attacking first. I'm loving it. Treasure chests. We need to talk about treasure chests. They are maybe the most infamous and easy to miss collectible in the game. There is an achievement for raiding every single treasure chest and inspecting it afterwards. So, let's just begin. We find Reviving Balm, which might be useful if one of us goes down. Wouldn't surprise me. And that's it. But wait, there's more. If we go back to the chest and inspect it, the chest is empty because of you. Nice work, hero. We will have a special chest message appear. You see, when Xseed was localizing this game, all the different chests in the game had unique text strings that all said that the chest was empty. And so I believe it was Jessica Chavez of Xseed decided to go ahead and, when she localized it, write unique chest phrases for each treasure chest in the game. And getting all of them, that's an achievement. And that's one we want. So if I, for instance, was to open up the achievements overview here, and we go to the chest one, Patient Plunderer, open all non-story related treasure chests and get every chest phrase. 1 out of 163. Alright, let's go. Also note that it says non-story related. So for instance, there's a story related chest coming up right on the other side here, which is not count. This is locked, it's rusted. But let's face this dirty rat. Oh, what a surprise. Another creepy thing. I wish there were an easier way to take care of them. One blow using an S-craft or S-break should do the trick for just about any enemy. The catch is, our CP has to be at least 100 to pull off one of those moves. These devastating attacks can only be unleashed when the CP gauge is above 100. S-breaks are actions which allow S-crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order. That's the important part. S-crafts, which are unleashed as S-breaks, can be changed by going to Tactics and then set S-break within the main menu. Alright. Not to worry, it'll all be explained. As you can see, we both have 98 CP now for tutorial reasons. So if I was to get 100 by hitting something... Paching! S-breaks. These are actions which allow S-crafts to be immediately unleashed while ignoring the battle order once the CP gauge has reached 0. S-crafts, which will be used as S-breaks, can be changed by going to Tactics and then set S-break. Pressing the break button will unleash a S-break. And we cannot be unleashed if it's currently not able to be unleashed. Great. Now press the break button and try unleashing an S-break. Alright, So I can navigate down to the S breakdown by Estelle. And even though now that my turn is done, it would normally have passed to Joshua, but I'm going to say no. My turn again. I'm going to select an enemy, and I'm going to pummel him. Here we go. Oh yeah. That is Estelle power right there. Now we're over to Joshua. How about you attack this guy? Ah. Now we too have a S break that we can do with him. I'm going to choose to... Wow, they're really going after Estelle for what she did to that dirty rat. I'm going to choose to save his craft and rather unleash that S craft in the upcoming final battle down here. We finish him, and then we'll finish off him. Very nice.
All right, we rule.
We rule! Weep. Wonderful. A couple of Sepith. And with that, there should be nothing down here, so there's only really one way, one guardian, one treasure chest to rule them all. So that's the treasure chest we're after, huh? If we made it this far, the rest is gonna be a piece of cake. Seems like we've got a little breathing room at least. Let's pay close attention to our battle order this time. There should be a number of ways to get more mileage out of our actions. During battle, there are several bonuses which can be allotted to turns. Turn bonuses have the same effect regardless of whether they are allotted to an ally or a foe. Using S breaks to ignore the battle order makes it easy to jump in and strip an enemy of their turn bonus. Ah yeah. Now, we're starting to get all the good elements introduced here. Battle order bonus. These icons indicate the bonuses allotted to the battle order. If a bonus icon appears next to a character's icon, they will receive that bonus. So we have like heal HP, Sepith up, etc. Lots of effects. The one we want to be on the lookout for is the exclamation mark, because that means critical hit, which is 1.5 times damage. So we want to make sure we unleash S-crafts to like capitalize on those critical hits. Now, this battle... Ooh, I forgot. I can actually pan the camera around too. That's excellent. Now, we have quite a few enemies here. This one, you can die on this one if you get unlucky. I think what we're gonna do is that we're just gonna power ourselves up here to start with. Just get really mad like that. And Joshua, should he do Sever? Maybe he should start off with a good Sever just to get it out of his system. Let's do it. I want to have a look at it. I don't think we're going to get any more super interesting. Ooh, actually, I'm going to wait around. I'm going to do a regular attack, and then I'm going to snag that health bonus in case I get attacked. Oh, instant kill. There we go. So now I jumped in and grabbed the HP heal, which if an enemy was there to be healed, that would be pretty useful. Let's finish him off. Let's go. It's so dark. I love it. 213 damage. Oh, here they come. Starting to beat me up. Now these guys are harder to hit, so it's recommended to use crafts against them. I am going to use crafts. Soul Blur against you. Now we're going to have to take another round of beating as we prepare to do, not Tear, but Aqua Bleeds on you. And for some reason the dirty rat in the back, he just kind of chills. He's just kind of bopping along to the music, having a good time. There we go. Soul Blur. Excellent. 1, 2, 3 damage. And we get a little bit of an HP heal here. Nice. That leaves us with only one left. Let's go get him. Generally, when battles aren't super tough, I like to just use the default attack because it lets us generate CP so that when we face a tough battle, we have some CP stored over. We can start doing some really cool moves. He's just kind of chilling. All right. Estelle's coming. Wait for Estelle. All right. Finish him off. Good job.
Good to go.
We're good to go. More XP. About halfway to level now. We've got Curative Horn and Juicy Bone. And with that, the chest. Found small box times 2. Huh, that's weird. There's a couple of boxes inside the treasure chest. The fact that there's not just one, but 2 is kind of interesting too. Wonder what's inside. Remember, Estelle, our mission is to search and retrieve only. I'm pretty sure looking inside those boxes doesn't fall under our mission objective. You're no fun at all, Joshua. This has nothing to do with our mission. It's what I like to call good, honest curiosity. You know, we're the only ones down here. We can get away with a teensy-weensy peek, right? If you feel like flunking today's test, then by all means, be my guest. Did you just say the F word? Yep. Opening one of those boxes could result in an automatic fail for the both of us. If this were a real job, the contents of those boxes would belong to the clients. And as long as they were nothing illegal, we would have no right to open them. I know you're right, Joshua. I just can't help myself. If you absolutely have to know what's inside, why not ask Miss Shara when we get back? But for now, we need to focus on getting out of here. Alright. What would Estelle do without Joshua in her life? Not much. Let's check the chest. By looking inside this chest again, you flunk. Oh! Just kidding. Sneaky chest. I believe that's one of the only, if not the only, treasure chest whose phrase doesn't count for the achievements, which is strange. But with that, we've done what we needed to do. Let's stop by the resting station on the way here. Let's rest up. Enjoy a little lullaby. Come on back feeling fine. Mission complete. Good work, you two. As a rule of training, I'm gonna need to confirm the items in your possession. Handed over small box times 2. Yep, they're the real deal, alright. I don't see any evidence of tampering either. Oh, that was a close one. I figured she would try and set us up like that. Congratulations to the both of you. You've successfully passed your qualification test. You didn't really think something that simple would be a problem for us, did you? So, Shara? What's in those boxes you had us get? That's for me to know and you to find out after your training is finished. That's enough chit-chat for now. Let's get back to work. You two still have some things left to do. Seriously? But didn't you just say that we passed the test? You still have to learn about how to report the results of your work. I'm aware that you're both tired, but this is no time to shirk your duties. Let's get back to the guild. When is this day going to be over? Oh well, no sense in giving up when the finish line is in sight. Agreed. Seems like we're within reaching distance of our goal. Your final training is how to report to the guild. Whenever you finish a job, it is your duty to report the results of your work to the guild. Reporting how you resolved the situation and the steps you took to get there are all part of your job as a bracer. You can report your results to the front desk in each guild branch. And as you already know by now, Aina is in charge here at the Rolent branch. Aina? I'm probably going to switch between them. In addition, this is where you'll be paid for your work. I look forward to seeing great things from the both of you. Now that we're here, why don't you both go ahead and report the results of today's training? Upon approaching the counter, a talk mark will appear. Pressing the OK button will display a list of options. Select report to the guild. Let's do just that. This is also important. It's not just enough to do the mission, we gotta report the mission. So, report. Received payment for training retrieval. Payment Emira 500. Gain BP 1. Current rank is Junior Bracer, 9th class. Good job, you two. It seems like you were able to complete your objective without running into any major problems. Another thing to take note of is that depending on how you handle the job, you may see an increase or decrease in the amount of pay you receive. When you report the results of your work to the guild, pay in the form of Mira isn't the only thing you will receive. You will also accumulate points, which are known as BP, Bracer Points. BP are an indication of your achievements as a bracer. When these points exceed a certain value, you will advance in rank as a bracer and be awarded with a piece of special equipment by the guild. The rank of a junior bracer start at 9 and go all the way up to 1. Please set your sights on making first rank and work hard. The amount of Mira and BP you receive will also be recorded in your bracer notebooks, so please have a look sometime later on. All that's left to do now is finalize your training. Let's head back upstairs, shall we? I'll talk to you later, Aina. And sorry about putting more work on your plate today than usual. Don't worry about it. Training new bracers is important for the future of the guild. I fully intend to work these two to the bone in any case. To the bone? Knowing Shera, it'll involve the whip. Why are you smiling at that, Joshua? Let me say it again. Good work, you two. You've now officially completed the entire training course. From now on, you will be learning from your own real-world experience. Well then. Scherazard holds out 2 small boxes. Aren't those the boxes, the ones... In answer to your question, yes, these are the boxes you retrieved during today's test. You seem awfully curious to find out what's inside, Estelle. Are you saying that it's okay if we open them? That's right. Why don't the both of you have a look and see what's inside? Sweet! Alright, let's have a look. Estelle and Joshua open the boxes. It's beautiful. Receive Junior Bracer Emblem. This crest is... So does this mean that we're... Estelle Bright, Joshua Bright. Beginning this day at 1500 hours, you are both hereby appointed as Junior Bracers within the Bracer Guild. From here on, you will work as members of the Bracer Guild to support the livelihood of those around you, defend peace, and uphold justice. Congratulations, you two, and welcome into the fold. Did you hear that, Joshua? We've become members of the Bracer Guild! So I'm a bracer now, huh? I think the realization is only now just beginning to sink in. Come on, Joshua! You should be jumping for joy or running around and screaming at the top of your lungs like this. Look at us now, world! We did it! I was happy until you made my eardrums bleed. I hate to interrupt the celebrations, Estelle, but I need to take off now. I have some backed up work that needs my immediate attention. We understand. You've been spending a lot of extra hours working with us during this busy time for the guilds. Before you head out, Shera, I just wanted to say thanks. Likewise. I appreciate all the trouble you've gone through for us, Shera. Don't mention it. Training new recruits is one of a bracer's many duties. Believe it or not, I was once in your shoes a long time ago when your father, Cassius, trained me. So that's why you have so much respect for my dad, huh? There's actually much more to it than that, but I'll save that conversation for another day. As for the both of you, work hard to become full-fledged bracers early on, so you can help guide those new recruits who come after yourselves. And in time, I hope to see you both become respectable bracers like your father. Anyway, I'll leave you with that thought. Thank you, Shera. I just don't get it. Get what? This is Scherazard, aka the Silver Streak, one of the most skilled young bracers we're talking about. So why is it that she holds Dad in such high esteem? He just seems like nothing more than a no-good middle-aged man who's always out doing who knows what instead of being a father. A no-good middle-aged man, huh? From your viewpoint, it doesn't come as a surprise that you would see him in that fashion. Huh? Never mind. Let's hurry and head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as junior bracers. Right. Cassius Bright. Is he just a no-good middle-aged man? Or is he something more? Joshua seems to think so, but we'll find out. You smell good today, Joshua. Let's go. Let us move. I find that I usually have face cam on my videos, but I couldn't find a place to fit it. And so I have to like express myself through the movements of the characters. So that's going to be how I communicate. Who are you though? Ridge. Hi there, Estelle and Joshua. Oh, hi Ridge. Hey, looks like your training is over, isn't it? I'm humbled to know that you two are the youngest ever to pass the Bracer exam. I look forward to working with you in the same capacity. Ourselves as well. I have to get back to work now, but if there's something you don't understand, give me a holler. Will do, Ridge. I'm gonna have myself a sip of water, thank you very much, because this is reading for an hour straight. Ridge, did you have anything else to say? I have to get back to work. Aina, thank you so much. You turn out official members of the Bracer Guild. For now on, I'm going to be passing jobs out to you like candy. Bring it on is all I have to say. I look forward to working with the guilds. Yeah. Man, what a day it's been. Those punk-ass kids again. Sorry, that's a terribly rude thing to say. Hurry up and come on.
Oh, wait for me, Luke.
Oh my, such a nerdy voice. Huh? Oh, it's you two.
Oh, great, it's Estelle. Hi there, Joshua.
Okay, you little twerp. What's with the, oh great, it's Estelle remark? What's the big hurry? How about telling us where you're headed? You're not thinking about wandering out of town alone, are you? The roads are full of monsters, I hope you know.
You're such a pest, Estelle. Don't you know there's no room for girls to be sticking their big fat noises in boys' business? Quit acting like you're a bracer, you wannabe.
How wrong you are, Luke. How incredibly wrong. You're more wrong than a fool who thinks there's better tasting milk in Liberl than the milk that comes from the Purcell farm.
What? No way. You're full of it, Estelle.
In fact, as of just a few minutes ago, we qualified to become real bracers. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Real bracers! More like bracers in training, really. Don't think you should be getting on your high horse just yet, Estelle. Now a high pony, on the other hand. Quit being a killjoy.
Wow, you two are great. I'm so happy for the both of you.
Oh, Pat, you're such a good little boy. Unlike that smart aleck and cynical brat you call a friend.
This isn't fair. I was supposed to become a bracer first. I can accept that Joshua became a bracer before me, but getting passed by the likes of Estelle...
What's the likes of Estelle supposed to mean? Just so you know, you can't even be a bracer until you're 16 years old. Get it? Only mature people allowed. And that means no little kids who are still going to Sunday school. I don't know how I should put this, Estelle, but Sunday school's dying to have you back.
You better watch out, Estelle. I'm gonna go train in my secret base, and before you know it, I'm gonna be a bracer too. Come on, Pat, let's go. All right, I'm coming. See you later, Estelle. Bye, Joshua.
Freaking nerd. That boy, Luke. He's always trying to pick a fight with me. I wonder if he just plain hates me or something. Rather, I think it's the exact opposite. What do you mean by that? Don't worry about it. It's just a boy thing. Yeah, it's just a boy thing. At any rate, what do you think Luke meant when he said secret base? I don't know why, but somehow it makes me a bit curious. I know exactly what you mean. A secret base sounds really intriguing. The pure heart of a young child can be so inspiring at times. That's not really what I meant by curious. Oh well, I guess we'll find out in due time. But, job complete! We did our first quest. We've become official members of the Bracer Guild. Is this not amazing, Joshua? We should be out celebrating. But first, we got a newspaper to buy. We got a dad to return to. But I think that sounds like a wonderful thing for us to do in the next episode. So, I believe this is where we're going to conclude for now. Standing here in Rolent, ready for adventure. In the next episode, we're gonna get our first real bracer job, get put through some real dangers, and see how that works out. After, of course, we have a little chat around town. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Carl, and this has been Trails to Completion.